Female cashier saved a billionaire's mother, then lost her job. What happened next shocked everyone. The loud crash of a shopping cart echoed through the crowded supermarket just as an elderly woman collapsed onto the cold floor, her face pale and her breathing weak. While frightened customers stepped back in confusion, one young cashier ignored the growing checkout line, rushed across the store, and dropped to her knees beside the helpless stranger. She didn't know the woman was the mother of one of the richest men in the country. She only knew that someone needed help. That single act of kindness would cost her the job she desperately needed, but within days, it would trigger a chain of events that no one in that supermarket could have imagined. Before we continue, if you believe kindness should always come before money, and that everyone deserves a second chance, please like this video, comment your thoughts, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Bright Kindness for more emotional and inspiring stories that restore faith in humanity. Emily Carter was only 26 years old, but life had already tested her more than most people twice her age. She worked long shifts as a cashier at a busy supermarket just to pay rent, care for her younger brother, and keep food on their table. Every paycheck disappeared almost as soon as it arrived. Despite the pressure, she greeted every customer with a warm smile because she believed that even a small act of kindness could brighten someone's difficult day. That afternoon began like every other. The store was packed with customers, shopping carts rolled across the polished floors, children cried, announcements echoed from the speakers, and every checkout lane was crowded. Emily barely had a second to breathe as she scanned groceries one after another. Then she noticed an elderly woman standing alone near the entrance. The woman looked weak, holding onto her shopping cart for support. Before anyone realized something was wrong, she suddenly collapsed. Many people froze. Some pulled out their phones. Others simply stared. Emily didn't hesitate. Ignoring the impatient customers waiting in her line, she rushed to the woman, gently lifted her head, called emergency services, and stayed beside her, speaking calmly while checking her breathing. She even removed her own jacket and placed it under the woman's head to make her more comfortable. Several minutes later, paramedics arrived and praised Emily for acting so quickly. They explained that her immediate response had likely prevented a far more serious medical emergency. But instead of appreciation, Emily received anger. Her manager stormed toward her with a furious expression. He accused her of abandoning her register, delaying customers, and damaging the store's reputation. Despite the employees trying to explain what had happened, he refused to listen. Before her shift even ended, Emily was fired. She quietly collected her belongings, fighting back tears. She wasn't crying because she had done the wrong thing. She cried because she had lost the only income keeping her small family afloat. That night she worried about unpaid bills, rent, and her brother's education. Still, when she remembered the frightened elderly woman opening her eyes inside the ambulance, Emily whispered to herself that she would make the same choice again. What Emily didn't know was that the woman she had saved was Margaret Harrison, the beloved mother of billionaire businessman Daniel Harrison, founder of one of the country's largest retail companies. When Daniel returned from an overseas business trip and learned that a supermarket cashier had saved his mother's life but had been fired for helping her, he was stunned. His mother insisted on finding the young woman who had shown compassion when everyone else hesitated. Daniel personally reviewed the supermarket's security footage. He watched Emily leave her register without a second thought, comfort his mother with incredible patience, and remain beside her until medical help arrived. Then he watched the manager dismiss her without any concern for her humanity. Daniel was deeply disappointed. Within 48 hours, he visited the supermarket himself. Employees were shocked as luxury cars filled the parking lot. The manager confidently welcomed the billionaire, expecting praise for running an efficient business. Instead, Daniel calmly asked him one question. If this had been your own mother lying on that floor, would you still have fired the person who saved her? The manager stood speechless. Daniel immediately ended the supermarket's business partnership with the store's ownership, citing a complete failure of leadership and compassion. News spread across the city. But Daniel wasn't finished. After several days of searching, he finally found Emily working temporary jobs to survive. He thanked her personally for saving the most important person in his life. Emily expected nothing. She had never helped the elderly woman hoping for a reward. That humility touched Daniel even more. Instead of simply offering money, he offered Emily something far greater, a new beginning. She was hired into his company's customer care leadership program with full training, excellent benefits, and opportunities for advancement. Her younger brother received a scholarship funded through the Harrison Family Foundation, ensuring he could continue his education without financial stress. Months passed. Emily's kindness transformed not only her own life but also the company around her. She introduced employee compassion training, emergency response workshops, and new policies ensuring that no worker would ever again be punished for helping someone in need. Her story inspired thousands across the country. People realized that true success isn't measured by wealth, titles, or power. It is measured by the courage to help another human being when no reward is guaranteed. If this story touched your heart, please take a moment to leave a comment telling us where you're watching from and share one act of kindness you've experienced or witnessed. Your story could inspire someone else today. Years later, Emily often looked back on the day she lost her job. At first, it felt like the worst day of her life. In reality, it had become the beginning of her greatest blessing. Sometimes life closes one door, not to punish us, but to guide us towards something far greater than we ever imagined. If this emotional story inspired you, don't forget to like, comment, share this video, and subscribe to Bright Kindness. Together, let's spread kindness, hope, and compassion, because one small act of kindness can truly